The biggest tangible effect that I can say I've seen has been the conference, where we received a much stronger interest on both sides, the presentation side and the attendee side, than what I expected. So there's that. During the conference, I could see that, yes, we're starting to have that small baby impact steps as we go through.
I'm glad you mentioned the conference, because I was going to touch base on this actually. I was going to tell you that we could see how much people are becoming interested, and they're looking for some space or a learning network, as you mentioned, professional learning network to share their, I don't know, their successes, their stories,
Mhm.
or even give tips or anything. Speaking of the conference, um, that was your first conference held by the Edubridges. And we had some technical issues throughout this
Yeah.
conference. And although that you worked hard on advertising for the conference and the
Yes.
sessions that are going through. At the beginning, if you remember, I'm sure you remember,
Oh,
uh,
for sure.
yeah, the opening ceremony was amazing and it was
Mhm.
quite successful, and I was part of it. But eventually, a technical issue arose, and can you walk us through your immediate reaction when you realized there's a technical issue, and what were the steps that you've taken to
Mhm.
address the situation?
Okay, thank you. Uh, the conference in particular, it started off with a dream of mine that I've always had since the first time I attended a conference as a teacher in Lebanon. It was around 1994 or 95. At that time, I was still doing my master's. It was the first Science and Math Education Science and Math Education Center conference for teachers, initiated and inaugurated by Dr. Sauma Boujodi.
Nice.
And it was the first time I saw what a conference could be. And at that time, I had never traveled out of Lebanon. I hadn't seen, there was no opportunity for me to travel, actually. I didn't think I'll be leaving Lebanon at that time. And it was quite, personally, it was a great feeling for me to stand in front of other colleagues and present something, knowing that I was a teacher, having prepared for so long. I presented part of my master's thesis during that time, and also share. I saw other presentations by others. So I've always had a soft or a special thought about conferences where, as colleagues, we share expertise, because there's the learning part and there's also the pride in presenting part. There's that back and forth. It's a two-way street. So with that in mind, fast forward, moved to Saudi Arabia. I attended another conference over there at the American School. And in that space, it was one of the greatest experiences I had, because teachers were mostly offering that training or that conference. And it was amazing because they gave me some of the best tips and tricks of what to do in the classroom, because they knew what what I was facing, the challenges that I had when I was in that classroom. So fast forward, I moved to Canada and finished my PhD. I was fortunate enough and blessed to have the opportunity to go to multiple conferences since then, a lot of conferences around the world. And when I came back to uh, the Middle East and the UAE, again, there are multiple conferences that are taking place, but most of them are for university profs and not school based teachers, principals, and personnel. And when I became the dean for the College of Education, I thought, yes, now I'm at the place where I can actually make a difference. We had 3 conferences that were held with a target on teachers who are there and opening the chance for teachers to present. But still, it didn't really work to the extent that I wanted, because there was still the idea this is connected with a university. So most of the presenters were university profs. When I started Edubridges, I was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Yes, a conference where not just university profs have the chance to present, but also teachers, principals, and school K to 12 personnel can present. So this has been really, I was really looking forward to it. It was
Amazing.
amazing because we had a lot of interest. We had eventually, with the numerous applications that we received, we got 50 accepted presentations, and it was amazing. We had more than 700 registrations. And on the day of the conference, even though we conducted previous practice sessions, the panel went nicely. And then we had, for those who don't know, we had planned for 5 concurrent sessions to take place. So 5 different rooms to open up. And in each room, there would be 3 presenters going there. And unfortunately, there was a technical issue. We couldn't open the rooms properly as we were opening one room and then the second or whatnot. There was a technical issue where people were thrown out of the room. So here I was behind a screen where I'm seeing all those multiple emails and WhatsApp messages from the team members. And I know you were one of those individuals who were hands on deck, helping out with sorting it out. And I thought, okay, we can solve this 10 minutes. I gave myself 10 minutes where we were trying to think it through and sort it out. But then I noticed it will take more time. And as teachers, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
Most of the people who are listening will be involved in education. We are 24/7 nonstop decision makers, and I had to make a decision based on what I had.
Mm.
Here I have hundreds of teachers who are passionate educators, participants, attendees who are there looking forward to join a group. But at the same time, this is a Saturday, that it's their day off. And I knew it won't be sorted out easily. At the same time, I had those 50 presenters who are lined up to talk. And I took the decision that I can't waste time and keep them held back. I made the decision of, you know what? We have technology. This is not the first time it
Exactly.
breaks on us. I
Yes.
took the decision that we will go on into an asynchronous mode. And I gave the message, and it was very nice to see the reaction and the feedback that I received. Everybody was accepting, everybody was supporting, and that's the most
Flexible.
important thing.
Yes.
Flexible, supportive, willing to work with us in order to have all those videos recorded, posted online. And I guess I was reflecting about this to you and to somebody else. On that day, having started Edubridges 3 years ago, actually 4 years ago, I saw that my mission and vision for Edubridges is actually possible, because those passionate educators, I thank them extremely for those who submitted to present and for those who registered to attend. I really thank them because they gave me the confidence that I'm on the right track. There is something coming out of this. And so
Um,
that's it.
you
I'm not
definitely
sure
are.
if I answered your question.
You did actually. You actually answered my second question, which was about the video that you posted on social media. So you answered this one too. What happened on that day? It motivates you to move forward in your plan and your, as you said, with your vision and mission of Edubridges.
Uh,
100.
I was going to say thank you for the support. And I was going to say that video that I posted on Instagram, that's the shortest, fastest video that I record and send out, even though I recorded it 3 times. But usually I take a lot more time in preparing something. But somebody asked me, would you think differently? Would you change it? I'm confident of what I did.
You took
Yeah,
the right action immediately. Communicating on social media was the best option because everyone is on social
mm,
media, advertising and following up.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I think you troubleshoot it immediately, and like the process of thinking about a solution directly, I mean, that requires so many problem solving and troubleshooting skills that you have, obviously, as an educator and
Thank you.
leader.
Thank you. I think we're all in the same. We're all in the same boat, and uh, anyway, that's what we do as educators. We solve problems ongoing all the time.
So I was going to ask you, like, if you look back at the process of how things went on that day, managing the situation, and
Mhm.
would have been something else that you had planned for to avoid such problem, or like to communicate with the audience in a better way, what would you have done differently?
Okay. Uh, I would have loved to have the ability in that short period of time to make sure that everybody got the message. Because realistically speaking, I posted that video on Instagram, but not everybody was following on Instagram. There's that. And in a perfect world, if it was up to me, I would have loved to be able to post on the conference space, on the community, on Edubridges community, in
Mhm.
order to inform everybody that this is what's happening. Now, mind you, for that to happen, all attendees or all registered individuals should have been on the community and checking things out. Considering that this was the first conference, we were working things out stepwise. That wasn't possible because we created, and we created that space for Q&A for the conference,
Yes.
but it wasn't active. Not everybody was aware of it. Not everybody was informed about the community. But hopefully, for next conference, that space will be way more active, and everybody will be informed that first and foremost you visit there, and from there you branch, so that they can stay updated on what's happening. I think that's what I would have loved to have.
Rana, I know you mentioned the Q&A space, but
Mm,
eventually after the conference, you kind of addressed the questions of the people in the opening ceremony and in the closing ceremony. You addressed those questions, and I could see like how active the space became with people like answering those questions or either pausing new questions, and there are so many replies, and I started getting those notifications. That was one of the positive things you could talk about. Do you want to mention something about this?
thank you for mentioning that, because the thing is, I did want, and I did mention in the opening ceremony and in the opening panel, that my hope for this conference is to be the start of a discussion and not the end. Starting the discussions, because we all go to conferences and you never are able to take all the questions from attendees and answer all the questions in the limited time. We're running and zooming through the different sessions. And I've always wanted to have that opportunity to follow up with those people that I attended their presentations, or those who attended my presentations, and asked. So there's that space. So I thought it would be amazing for that Q&A space, or for the cards for each presenter, so that attendees can go in and start a discussion. And by the end of that day, things went wrong regarding those sessions, but I thought, you know what? We have those questions. And I didn't see anybody starting a discussion. So I thought, let's start it ourselves. Let's build on what we had. So, what I did, as you noted, I had those questions there, and I was very positively like surprised that people were answering, people were going in, and it still receives attention even maybe something like 3 weeks after the conference. I'm still seeing people posting there. So this is a call for anyone who's interested. Visit the conference website. I'm plugging in a marketing campaign here. Visit the conference website on our community. You can attend you can watch at least 4 videos, get a certificate of attendance, and also, more importantly, participate in a discussion with fellow passionate educators. So there's that.
I must say, from my experience as one of the attendees at the same time, I
Yes.
mean, I watched so many presentations that many of the information that they shared resonated with me, and I've taken notes at some points as well, and I've commented on them. So I really recommend that everyone who is watching this to go visit the recordings, and you can use filtering options. Now I'm
Yeah.
marketing for you. You can
Thank
filter
you.
using any of the selected keywords, and you get the videos that you want that are tagged
Mhm.
with it, and you watch them. Yeah, definitely. And in the comments you would see some resources. Many people put resources in the
Yes.
comments as well. Yes.
That's
Uh,
definitely true. That's definitely true.
so moving on from here, and as we
Mhm.
said, what happened at the conference motivated you with the vision and mission of
Yeah.
Edubridges. So how do you envision your next conference? If you're up to making a new conference next year, how do you envision
Oh,
it?
for sure. For sure. There will be, inshallah, inshallah, there will be a conference next year. Uh, the way I envision it, we have a lot of lessons learned, you know, there's definitely that part. I see it to be a bit bigger. I I can already see that it will be more than one day, because part of my struggle for this round was we had more than we expected, and breaking those sessions into the 5 concurrent sessions and squeezing them. Honestly, I would love to have longer time for each person to present rather than the 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I won't go for an hour because that's a workshop then, but a half an hour. And to do that, I don't see one day being enough. So there's one part which I can see it long bigger. I see it with more involvement and more sessions for the Arabic speaking individuals in the region, because or educators who teach in Arabic, or the educators who teach Arabic, either in Arabic or Arabic. Um, this is one of my targets, to give them that space to present and get involved. So a bigger scope over there. Uh, More time for planning, because the call for participation came shorter than like I expect the call for participation to come out before the end of this academic year, so that we have more people submitting and us reviewing. And hopefully, what I would envision is for us to be able to make a bigger impact when it comes to information for leaders and policymakers, to listen to what these educators are saying and benefit from what they have to offer. And I'll finish with this note. I
Mhm.
strongly believe that together we can make a difference. So let's
100%.
make it happen.
Yes. Our collaboration is the most important part as educators. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.